everyone, so let's start physical and chemical changes. What is the meaning of changes? First of all, changes means that certain change means everything goes on a change around us. We change day to day. In our day life, there is something that is changing. Either it's slow or it is fast, or either it's reversible or it is irreversible. Change means from one substances is going to the another substances. Okay. So first of all, First of all, we have this physical and chemical changes we have in our syllabus. So let's start terms to know. Desirable changes. What's the meaning of that? Desirable changes means a change that we want to take place and it is useful to us. Okay. So this is the meaning of desirable changes. Suppose ripening of fruits. What is the meaning of ripening of fruits? Ripening of fruits means the fruit is ripening and it's useful for us. The fruit is ripening means it's useful for us. The fruit is ripening. Okay. Next we have undesirable change. We want what will happen if a fruit ripen? We will eat it, and that's nice, right? And next we have the undesirable changes. The changes that we do not want to take place and it is harmful to us. Rotting of fruits is harmful to us. It wastes our money, but that change takes place, so it's undesirable change. Reversible change that can be reversed by reversing the conditions which cause the change. Okay, so what is the meaning of that? Reversible change means suppose you have water to ice. So water to ice, it's on cooling, you get ice. Okay, and now if you reverse the condition, suppose I do heating, which is a reverse of cooling, the ice will again change into water, and that's a reversible change. And now what is a irreversible change? A change that cannot be reversed. Suppose I burn a paper, and then if I reverse the condition, if I cool a paper, then can I get paper again from the ashes? No. So that's a irreversible change. Next, exothermic change, a change in which heat is released. Heat or energy also you can write. Heat or energy is released. Okay. That's an exothermic change. Suppose, what is the meaning of exothermic change? Suppose, burning of candle. Okay. So burning of candle, I burn a candle. Okay, if I burn a candle, what will happen? The heat will be spread around. So that's an exothermic. And endothermic means the heat is absorbed. In cooking, if we need to cook a food, will heat be around? Heat will be absorbed by the food. So that's an endothermic change. For endothermic change, it's the sweat that evaporates in our bodies is also an endothermic change. Endothermic change makes us feel cool. Exothermic change makes us feel hot. Here, physical change, a change that which occurs when a substance undergoes change in its physical properties. A change which occurs when a substance undergoes change in its physical properties, but its composition is not changed, but its appearance is changed. Okay, so suppose from water to ice. Okay, from water to ice if I take, and then ice will also have H2O molecules and water will also have H2O molecules. So that means no chemical change has taken place. Physical change only has taken place. Okay, next a chemical change when which occurs when two or more substances react in such a way that there is formation of one or more new substances. Suppose what to say? What's a chemical change? Examples would be yes, burning of paper. So burning of paper, if you are burning the paper, what happens? Ashes are formed, and ash is a new substance, right? Ash does not have a same chemical composition as of the paper. Okay, so it's a chemical change. Dissolving, a process in which solids such as salt or sugar is added to liquid like water and disappears into water to form a homogeneous mixture. Okay, so if I add mud, that is not called dissolving because mud will not be absorbed. Like mud will not dissolve over there. Okay, but salt and sugar will dissolve. Okay, to form a homogeneous mixture. Okay, next we have melting or fusion. Now there are many kinds of solutions that are like over there. Okay, there are Okay, so now what happens? There are six states. Like there are six processes in which water transforms into. Okay, so now solid transforms into liquid, liquid transforms into gas, gas transforms into solid. There are six processes. Now what are they? They are, first of all, they are. I have drawn a triangle in the chapter called matter. Okay, I'll draw here again. Okay, so you have solid, liquid and gas. So solid to liquid, from solid to liquid you have melting. Okay, a process in which solid changes into liquid, so here will be right melting. Okay, freezing or solidification, a process into which liquid on cooling changes into solid, so here we will write freezing. Boiling, a process in which a liquid on heating changes into vapor, so here we will write boiling. Evaporation, a process in which a liquid changes into a vapor by absorbing heat energy from the surroundings. Now what's the difference, I'll tell you today. Okay, condensation, a process in which a vapor on cooling changes into a liquid. Here we write condensation. Okay, again let me draw the triangle. Now here a solid changes into vapor on heating without passing through the liquid state, directly from solid to gas. This is known as sublimation. Certain substances sublime, and this is called frost formation. Okay, over here. Okay, so the process of burning or combustion, a process in which substances such as charcoal, when heated in the presence of air, catch fire. Okay, so when we heat a charcoal, it catches fire in the presence of air. Okay. When we just add a fire, add certain fire to it, it catches fire and it burns out, right? Okay. Everything catches fire, but at some ignition temperature they have ignition point. Okay. Rusting, a process in which iron objects, when left exposed to moist air, develop a brown flaky layer on their surface. What's the meaning of flaky? Flaky meaning that soft, brown soft layer on their substance. Okay, so and that's a chemical change. The part of the iron which gets rust cannot be removed. Okay, we cannot get back iron from there. If we take off the rust, then only we'll see fresh iron, but that's not that iron. Okay, that's the beneath that the iron layer. Okay, so a process in which iron objects, when left exposed to moist air, develop a brown flaky layer on their substances. Now the chemical reaction, write down first. Fe plus H2O plus O2 gives Fe2O3. Okay, gives Fe2O3. This one, okay, gives Fe2O3. A brown flaky layer developed on the surface of iron object when left exposed to moist air. Okay. Digestion, a process by which the food which we eat is broken down into small molecules which can be easily absorbed. So it's a very, very complex process. You know what is digestion? I taught you in biology. Respiration, it's also a very, very complex process. It has to be learnt in detail. So I cannot explain you what is over here. Okay. A process by breaking down food to release energy, carbon dioxide and water. Okay. So I can only write down the equation for you, and the equation is that O2 plus C6H12 O6, you know what's its formula? The glucose formula. And in the presence of energy or lung capacity, ATP, it forms CO2 plus H2O plus energy. Okay. Next, curdling, a process in which a liquid transforms into a semi-solid mass. This is also a chemical process. All these are chemical process. Certain chemical reaction takes place and they grow in this form. Okay. Next we have at a glance. All things in our surroundings undergo change. Okay. Yeah, I told you everything, slow or fast, but they go into changes. Now they are classified into various categories: desirable and undesirable, reversible and irreversible, exothermic and endothermic, physical and chemical changes. There is no substances formed during a chemical change. It is no new substance. Number 1, property. Number 2, temporary. And number 3, reversible. Okay, temporary means only it is reversible. You all can understand. A chemical change is a permanent and irreversible. It involves formation of one or more new substances. So when new substances are formed, it's a chemical change. Okay. Now, what are the examples of some of the physical changes? Dissolving, melting, freezing, boiling, evaporation, condensation, sublimation, frost formation also. Okay. Next, the burning. Now, what are the examples of chemical changes? Burning, rusting, cooking of food, digestion, respiration, and curdling. Okay. Next, we have infographs. So, let's see. A change that cannot be reversed is called a irreversible change. Now, what is an example? It's cooking of egg also number 1. Number 2, burning of candle, bursting of balloon. Cooking of an egg we have already seen. These are irreversible changes. What are desirable changes? A change that we want to take place and it is useful to us. Okay, such as ripening of fruits. I gave you an example. It's useful to us. So number 1. Okay, now this is already given. Number 2, number 3, curdling of milk, germination of seeds, or preparing cheese. Number 4 are examples of desirable changes. Next we have reversible changes. I already told you what's it. A change that can be reversed by reversing the conditions which is changed, which is caused for the change. Okay. Number 1, melting of ice. Number 2, melting of ice is already written. Folding of paper, stretching of a rubber band. These are all reversible changes. Okay. Okay, number 4. Now see, melting and freezing. It's changing into ice cubes and it's again coming into ice cubes by freezing, and the ice cubes are changing into water by melting, and they are again coming back into ice cubes through freezing. Okay. Next, undesirable changes. Any change that we do not want to take place and it is harmful to us is known as undesirable changes. Rotting of fruits, curdling of milk, okay, meant for drinking, and rusting of iron are some examples of undesirable change. Very, very interesting this chapter is. Okay, exothermic change, and it's the easiest chapter in chemistry. A change in which heat is released is known as exothermic change. See, candle is burning, heat is released. So number 1, burning of candle, burning of fuels, fireworks are some examples of exothermic changes. Endothermic changes, the change in which heat is absorbed is known as a endothermic change. See, boiling of water, water is getting heated. See, water is getting heated. Now water needs heat from the surroundings. So the surroundings are being cooled, but this water is heated. Okay, but the surroundings are cool. Okay. Cooking of food, boiling of water, melting of ice are some of the endothermic changes. Okay. Next we have done. Okay. Thank you so much. Goodbye. And another thing I told you that I'll write down, and that is the what did I told you? The formula for rust and the formula for respiration, right? Yeah, formula for rust is okay. Another one is formula for respiration you want. Okay, now see very, very carefully. C6H12O6 plus O2. Okay, sorry, I wrote wrong. Okay. Now C6H12O6. You know what's C6H12O6 is glucose. Forms CO2 plus H2O plus 38 ATP. I have already taught you in respiration what is ATP. And when it's anaerobic respiration, that means I'll show you. That means you have lactic acid over there. You have any kind of lactic acid over there. Okay. And oxygen you don't have. Okay. So oxygen is not there. And then you get CO2 plus H2O plus lactic acid, not lactic acid, here you must have all those enzymes, such as you must have this alcohol or etc. These things you must have. Okay, and lactic acid you get, and you get no space to write, and I am writing over here, just check out, and you get only 2 molecules of ATP. And so which is more important? Aerobic respiration is more important because you get 38 amount of ATP, and anaerobic respiration is not important because you get only 2 ATPs. Am I clear? Thank you so much. Goodbye.